What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over the number one thing that I believe New World should do to improve their in-game movement. Now, I've absolutely been loving the game. I've been really enjoying it. In fact, I've been playing a lot more than I thought I would. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about the game because I've been really enjoying it. But I do think this one change would help in-game movement and especially the PvP in the game. So myself as a PvP player, that's one of the things I really enjoy and look at in a game. And the PvP in New World is very fun. There's a lot of fun moments. I'll be uploading a lot of those moments here on the channel that I've had so far in World PvP and in duels, which is awesome. But I do think this one change could help the PvP and the in-game movement. So let's jump into it. I think this could actually be a pretty big deal in changing how the game feels. But currently, you can move forward, you can move backwards, you can strafe left and right, and you can jump up and down, and you can roll in all of these directions, right? Forward, left, right, and backwards, depending on what movement key you're hitting when you hit shift, right? Now, one of the biggest problems I'm seeing currently with the movement, and this is not a super big problem until you encounter PvP or until you encounter just wanting really snappy, smooth gameplay, maybe like we're used to in a third-person shooter or you know, other MMOs. I won't even mention them, right? I won't mention the name, but you know, as we're getting in here, we have a slight delay, just like that, from inertia when we're changing movement directions. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking, dude, this is not a big deal at all. It makes the game feel more realistic, and your character only stops moving for a split second. Now, I understand that logic and that reasoning, but there's a lot of things that aren't realistic in this game, like casting a fireball isn't very realistic, or dropping from 50 feet without dying isn't realistic. There's things about this game that I love that are realistic, like chopping down a tree and fishing, and the realism makes the game pretty awesome. But one of the things that I don't necessarily need one-to-one accurate is inertia. So moving back and forth, there is a slight strafe mechanic, and you can't do something snappy like strafe back and forth really fast like this. If I'm pressing my strafe left, strafe right very fast, this is what ends up happening. You basically don't end up moving at all. And if I hit strafe for a second and then strafe the other way for a second, there is like a slight delay where your character stops moving. Now, I think in a game that is based around PvP, right? Having a movement like this is just gonna be not quite snappy enough for players to feel fully in control of their character, right? Like you look at Fortnite, for example. Your character can jump and roll, and you can't roll, but you can jump without stopping, right? Like jumping like this. There's a slight land where you land and stop moving, right? That feels clunky. If you move to the left and then switch to the right, there's that slight inertia, that slight slide where you lose control of your character for a second, and that feels clunky, right? So what's my suggestion? My suggestion, first off, is that they remove this kind of like inertia where you change directions. I want to be able to just quickly Q and E, I use strafe with Q and E, but strafe left, strafe right, and have my character move, be agile, be swift. That's my first suggestion, is take off that from strafing. The second one would be take off the landing when jumping. Jumping should be something that feels fun, makes your character feel agile and swift, and you can jump around. Maybe if you want to make light armor different from heavy armor, if you have heavy armor, make you clump on the ground, and light armor, you can be more swift. But I have full cloth armor right now, light armor. There's no way that my jump should be this, like, I lose control of my character for a second, right? And that loss of control of the character, even for that second, makes it feel a bit clunky, especially in PvP. Like I said at the start of this video, I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining. I've been loving New World, and the PvP is great, and I'm excited to jump into it more. I'm just saying one suggestion for the movement could be to remove, one, the strafing, that little bit of inertia, and then two, the jumping, right? When you land, this should all be fluid. Now, if I am gonna say a third thing in terms of the movement, I would say that when you roll, normally there's a slight hiccup. Now, you can cancel the slight hiccup with the cancel animation from unsheathing or sheathing your weapon or changing weapon. So if I press shift and then X, I can cancel it by unsheathing or sheathing the weapon. Now, that's great, right? but this should probably just be built in. The game should just feel smooth. Right when you log in, without having any animation canceling or without any type of special settings, you should be able to log in and just roll and feel smooth. There shouldn't be like that slight hiccup. You should be able to strafe left and strafe right and just feel smooth, feel quick, feel agile within the game. And you should be able to jump up and down without feeling like it's slowing your character and that you're just feeling clunky. So guys, this is the #1 thing I think New World should do. Let me reiterate saying I've been loving the game. I actually didn't even plan on playing the game, but I've really been enjoying, and I do plan to continue leveling up and enjoying the PvP in this game. But I wanted to put my thoughts out there on the one thing that I think New World should do, Amazon Studio should do, to improve the movement of this game. And I think improving the movement is the #1 gateway to improving the PvP in the game. Because if your character is snappy and in control, and you can feel what your character is doing, and you feel like very in control and immersed in your character, then I think the PvP 1-for-1 is just going to be better, right? You're going to be able to evade attacks better. You're going to be able to feel like you're more in control of your character, so you can land your attacks better. It's just going to feel more fluid. It's going to feel more flush. For the PvP, I think this would really, really, really help. Now, I'm very curious on what you guys think of this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why or why not? Down below in the comments. I really want to read what you guys have to say. So if you agree with this and you think this would be a great change for the movement of PvP, give the video a thumbs up. Let me know that you agree down below in the comments. If you disagree with this, let me know in the comments and let me know why. Like, hey Czar, I think this should stay in the game because it makes the game feel more realistic, right? Or whatever reasoning that you might have. Now, for me, that realistic part, it's like, the game's already, I'm shooting fireballs. I want the game to feel responsive and snappy so the PvP can feel complete instead of maybe a little bit laggy. So anyway, all the responses down below on what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know, and hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.